Boarded the 743 from Pierre-Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space. Much has been said about the western frontier. The perilous wilderness, the lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there. Usually to get away from something worse. I suppose I'm about to become one of them myself. There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has. An opportunity with my name on it. Thoughts in my head are running together like the landscape outside the window. Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur. One thing I know, I am ready for a change of scene. Huh. Quiet.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jem. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Legere.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Legere?
Miss. And I'm here about a job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, well, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl. But I had the good sense not to get caught. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about. Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office? soft drink crates. A sugary, fizzy way to beat the heat. Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles. Nothing inside but a colony of ants. Shame. I could go for a sarsaparilla. This padlock's not going anywhere. Not without encouragement. I hope that isn't the town water supply. The local sawbones. This is where all the sharp knives and strong drugs will be kept. Can't be a good sign when even the blacksmith goes out of business. No shoes for you, horsies. This is the place. Holy hell! Are you all right, mister? Don't you move. I'll fetch the doctor to have a look at you.
Oh, hello there. Don't think I've seen you around before.
I've just arrived today, but this isn't the time for formalities. There's an emergency.
How can I be of service?
Some poor fool's just fallen out a window.
At the Rosewater post?
Yes. How did you...
Sounds like Joni's in a mood again. Let's go.
Here he is, poor bastard.
Oh, dear. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Sedgwick. I'm here to help you. Can you move your legs? Spine seems intact, no obvious fractures of the arms or legs. That, I would say, is nothing short of a miracle. Right, he's in a bad way, but he'll live. I'll get him back to my clinic and patch him up. You are truly a good Samaritan, Mrs.
Legere. Miss. And it was nothing. If you'll excuse me, I have an appointment to keep.
Of course. God bless.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Legere. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please?
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Legere, thank you for submitting your sample. Your writing shows real potential. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post and discuss the possibility of an extended commission. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward to making your acquaintance. Yours, Joan Gallagher.
Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. They seem to be pretty active around here. I hope that means steady work. Impressive piece of machinery. Cozy.
Come in.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Legere.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please take a load off. Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Me? Well, I was born and raised in New Britannia. Got out, made my way west, and started writing. I saw your ad while I was up in Pierre. Thought a change of scenery would do me good.
Well, admittedly, Rosewater isn't as cosmopolitan as it used to be, but maybe you'll find it to your liking.
There hasn't been a dull moment since I stepped off the train.
Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. I haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the Toffs in Lyon, hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
I had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know, can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Fantastic. So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Oh, the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. The Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. Star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taking rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
So, who was the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see. The Rosewater Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
It was only the biggest story that year. I still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
Any insight you can give me about the town?
It's a far cry from what it used to be. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the saloon at all hours, but... oh, I don't know. Folk who moved on took some of the charm with them.
What about the folks who stayed behind?
What about him?
I was hoping for more details.
Far as you're concerned, the only person in Rosewater worth knowing right now is Jake Ackerman. If you're so keen to know about the rest, go meet him for yourself.
I'm curious, how did the Rosewater Post get its start?
Well, my dad was a union man. He worked the printing press for the Allied Fall Creek Miners Cooperative. Pamphlets, labour news, that sort of thing. Then the mine owners brought the Blackburns in to bust the whole operation up. My dad was laid up for months and could never work again after. But we still had to eat, didn't we? I took all the equipment from the old shop and started printing up an early version of the Post just to bring a little money in. At first, it was all just community notices and advertisements from local stores. Over time, I got the hang of the whole journalism thing and turned it into a real newspaper.
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but couldn't I write about something else? My style's more observational than, talking to people. I don't know that that's really my strong suit.
We're talking, aren't we? If you want to write for this paper, you're simply going to have to stretch yourself beyond what you might be accustomed to. Besides, it's not as if you have to say anything particularly brilliant. Just get your subject talking and take notes. Finish this assignment and maybe the next one will be more to your liking.
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are. Wait a minute.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it.
Of course. And please call me Joni.
Fascinating device.
Isn't it just? To think, I can send messages from here to Bright Bay with the press of a lever.
What will they think of next? Nice typewriter.
A first. Good old Sheldon Model 4.
You support Leroy?
I'm a proud Labourite, sure. I'll admit he hasn't been my favourite PM. But the way things were going with Atwood and the Traitus, this place would have been swallowed up by an automated newspaper conglomerate. Labour Party gets me vote any day of the week.
Fair enough. The New Britannia Gazette. Keeping tabs on the competition?
Hardly. I kept that issue because they mentioned my paper.
Is this the first edition of the Rosewater Post?
Yep, March 30th, 1845. One of the best days of my life.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire Harley, writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all?
Was your meeting satisfactory, ma'am?
Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
Local populace getting sloshed. I bet that piano hasn't been tuned since the De Leon administration. She's making the best of it, though. The local populace getting sloshed. Food delivery for the lazy. Excuse me, kid, I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr. Ackerman's not taking any more meetings right now.
It's important I speak with Gentleman Jake.
I'm sure. Of course, he always tries to make time for his admirers. Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well, now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about him, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, he's a real dazzler.
Suppose it beats waiting around here.
Gentleman Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon.
20 coppers, it had better be one hell of a show. You again?
Oh, hey, Harmony, was it?
Harley. What in the ether are you doing here?
Oh, you're not still sore about earlier.
You bet your scrawny ass I am.
Look, nothing personal. My brother and me are just doing our best to get by.
Hang on. Your brother? I ought to knock you into a cocked hat.
Hey, you gotta look out for number one.
You picked the wrong mark, but I can let that go. Hell, with a little effort, you two could be halfway decent grifters. But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's disloyalty. That's your flesh and blood. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth is going to give a flip if you're alive or dead?
You made your point. Now can we drop it already? I'm trying to do an actual legitimate job here.
Legitimate job? So you're not selling snake oil or stock tips or fire insurance?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman Jake's legendary Wild West show. Only 20 coppers.
Wait here. I'll be back.
I look forward to it.
For 20 coppers. Hey, kid.
Yeah?
I'll take one of those tickets.
Swell! And when would you like to come see the show?
Whenever it starts?
Oh, you mean today? Oh, well, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you there. Sold the last of today's tickets not 10 minutes before you walked up.
Seriously?
Seriously, this ain't exactly the Coliseum. It only fits so many, and folks around here are real excited to see Gentleman Jake in person.
All right, look. I don't need to see some yahoo firing off his pea shooter. I just want to talk to this Jake fellow.
And I'm sure Gentleman Jake would be happy to meet you if you had a ticket to get in. Course, I might be able to sneak you in quiet-like, but I'd be putting my job on the line, and I can't afford to lose it now. After all, I have my little brother to look after.
Just tell me what you want.
Only a small favor.
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve something. A small item of great personal value. It's only my pa's pocket watch. Family heirloom, you see.
What happened to it?
It was stolen is what. By that one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson. Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for weeks now.
Where'd your brother get to? Keeping out of trouble?
Matter of fact, he's trying to make good after that screw-up earlier. Decided he's gonna try and get Pa's watch back all by himself. He's real tore up over losing it.
If he's doing it, then what do you need me for?
Why, it's clear he ain't cut out for the job. I tried talking sense into him, but he's dead set on it. Wants to prove himself. But he'll be in real hot water if he gets caught, which he probably will. That's why I'm asking you to do it before he goes and does something stupid. I can tell you could pull it off. No problem.
If this Lola stole from you, why not report it to the sheriff?
Oh, come on. I thought you was sharp. That lazy tyrant would cuff my brother and me soon as look at us. It's just the two of us. Me and him against the world. We got no one else to turn to. So, will you help us out?
That kid deserves better than getting strung up for doing your dirty work. Call him off. I'll handle it.
Swell. You know where to find me.
This place is falling apart, but these stone tiles were nice. Once. Doctor? Oh, right, the ethericity fellow. I didn't know he was working out here.
Hello again, Miss Leger. I'm pleased to say your friend should make a full recovery.
He's not my friend. He just fell out the window and almost crushed me.
I see. Well, it was good of you to come get me. Plenty of folks around here would have turned a blind eye. I realize in all the commotion we weren't properly introduced. I'm Dr. Sedgwick.
Guess the sign wasn't lying then. I'm Harley.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Mind if I have a look around?
Not at all.
Hey, Doc.
Miss Legere.
So, how's the medicine business?
What a question. I'm a physician, Miss Legere, not some two-bit snake oil salesman.
Didn't mean to imply you were.
I'm sure. At any rate, I've not had many patients of late. This poor soul is the only one this week. But that is the physician's dilemma, is it not? We are taught that idleness is a sin. But better that I am idle and the townsfolk healthy than my surgery be full of the ill and infirm.
Got any knowledge to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place. Warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
If things are so bad, why not pick up and move elsewhere?
I swore an oath to do no harm, Miss Legere. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandoning my patients. There may not be many left to call on my services, but when they do, I am the only barrier standing between them and the grave.
Isn't that a bit dramatic, Doc?
Say what you will. I know where I stand on the matter.
Why not train somebody to take over for you?
I did have an apprentice not long ago, my ward, Nadine.
What happened to her?
Oh, this is no kind of life for a restless young person. I encouraged her to put her talents to use elsewhere. She's ministering to the local native tribe now.
Who is this tribe?
I'm afraid I don't know much about them, just that they have a small village somewhere in the valley. I believe they call themselves the Audam? Autumn? I'm not certain of the pronunciation. At any rate, they don't come to the town, and I imagine the townsfolk mostly let them be as well.
You must know all about the townsfolk.
I am well acquainted with all their ailments, proclivities, and vices. But if you're just seeking gossip, you'll have to find it elsewhere.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat. I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Legere.
Pleasure. Just passing through, or?
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
Oh, it's great. Real pretty.
Well, glad you think so. Most folks take one look around and get right on the next train back. But I can see you have some real grit. I doubt the dust and the flies will put you off. Anyhow, welcome to Rosewater. You run into any trouble, you come and see me.
A lawman with a license? Guess Rosewater isn't so uncivilized after all. I wouldn't have figured the sheriff for a naturalist. Looks like a pretty rough sort. Fancy yourself a lepidopterist?
Ha! Hardly. Picked that display up from a passing rag and bone man. But I like when the sun shines on their wings just so. Real thing of beauty.
Does this license mean you went to sheriff's school?
No, it means I was officially elected to the position by the people of this town. The paper is really just a formality.
Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below. This fellow still at large?
Yep, but I reckon he's left the province.
What's in the bag?
Oh, that's a set of lockpicks I confiscated from a would-be burglar.
Hey, Sheriff?
What's on your mind?
Who are the people in this photo?
Those are my sisters, Lord bless them. Mary was always my favorite. The trouble we used to get into when we was kids.
Got him. This should be easy to pick. Just have to remember that rhyme I taught Bill. Good thing I wrote it down in my journal. A hook pick. A snake pick. A diamond pick. I should have this open and learned it by heart as a tyke and scribbled it down. Hellfire, am I losing my touch? Good thing I wrote down the rhyme in my journal before I lost all my wits. Fantastic. They didn't used to call me Housebreaker Harley for nothing.
Hey, I'm impressed.
Anyways, that's my part of the bargain held up. You gonna let me in now?
Sure, go on. Oh, and thanks. I know we've had our tiffs, but I really do appreciate you getting this for me. My dear departed pa can rest easy again knowing his watch is back where it belongs.
That's not your watch at all, is it?
Well, it is now.
Kid, if I were you, I'd make myself scarce. Otherwise, the only way you'll be able to tell the time on that thing is by squatting over a mirror. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, are you ready for some thrills? Are you ready for some excitement? Are you ready for some fun? Then without further ado, may I present the star of our show, the last man standing at the Bleachbone Gulch Showdown, the only man to defeat bastard Billy Boakes in a duel, the man who discovered a gentleman, then gifted it to an orphanage, Gentleman Jake Ackerman!
Thank you, Charlie, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gentleman Jake's Wild West. We got a heck of a performance for you today, but first, allow me to introduce my brave and loyal assistant, Danny Luo. Now let's get this show on the road. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you rope a steer. Keep it going, Danny. Maybe you'll lasso yourself one someday.
The sun beat down upon them as the duelists stood and stared. But Billy Boakes had never fought somebody so prepared. Jake drew his gun, and bang! The bastard crashed down with a thud. The legendary foe lay dead, defeated, in the mud.
Yahoo! Get him!
And now for a most challenging proposition, perhaps the greatest feat of marksmanship to which a man can set his sights. You see those 5 juggling balls that Charlie keeps whirling aloft in such a dizzying display? Ladies and gentlemen, fix your eyes on that green ball in particular, and do not dare blink. For with but a single bullet, I will pluck it from the very air. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Thank y'all so much. You've been a truly magnanimous, magnificent, and majestic audience.
And you can take home a piece of the legend. Come on down to the Jack of Diamonds to get an autograph or a souvenir ferrotype. We'll be there until last call. Stop by and shake hands with Gentleman Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
I'm telling you, Jake, I need that money tonight.
You knew the deal going in, Charlie. There's nothing I can do about it.
We'll see about that.
Hope I'm not interrupting, gentlemen.
My friend here was just saying his farewells. Weren't you, Charlie? Please do pardon that unpleasant display. What can I do for you, my dear?
Name's Harley Leger. I'd like to interview you for the Rosewater Post.
Well, shucks, it would be my pleasure, Miss Leger. Shall we go upstairs to my room? Beats standing out here in the dust.
Lead on.
Miss Leger, permit me to introduce my associate, Danny Luo.
We've met, actually. Not formally, I suppose. Nice to properly make your acquaintance, Miss Leger.
Likewise, Mr. Luo.
Please, you can call me Danny. Everybody does.
So what did you think of the show? Pretty spectacular, huh?
Spectacular. It was amazing.
Well, shucks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Shall we proceed with the interview?
Right. So who is the real Gentleman Jake?
Mercy me. That's a hell of a question. Now, I ain't much for philosophizing, Miss Leger, so I'll just say this. In my case, what you see is what you get.
I see. Well, okay then. How did you come to pick Rosewater as your latest venue?
Simple. Plenty of folk in this town are looking for a good show. I ain't so hoity-toity as to think El Presidio or Los Virgenes are the only places worth visiting. After spending all day bent double over a pan in a creek or working his keister off down in a mine, a man is entitled to some amusement, wouldn't you say?
You're clearly a man of great deeds. Which would you say has been your greatest?
I value all my accomplishments equally, Miss Leger. To single any one out would diminish the others. I couldn't bring myself to do that.
What a noble sentiment.
I like to think so.
Is there anything that frightens the mighty Gentleman Jake?
You know, somebody once told me, fear is only as deep as the mind allows. When you deal with the type of folks out on the frontier that I do, marauders, bandits, desperados, your fears have got to be shallow. Otherwise, you won't last 2 seconds.
Hey, Jake, don't you have an appointment with Miss Sally this evening?
Damn, you're right. Sorry to cut things short, Miss Leger. I've got another engagement I need to prepare for.
I should have plenty for my article. I appreciate your time.
Well, I look forward to reading your story in the next edition. Danny, see the lady out, would you?
Good meeting you, Danny. Guess I'll see you around. Not to worry, gents. Jake's all yours. Hey, you were in the show. Nice juggling.
Thank you, ma'am. Jake! Get your ass out here right now, you four-flusher.
Now, what's all the ruckus?
Don't play the fool with me, Ackerman. You know damn well why I'm here. You might think you can give me the runaround, but I wonder if my friends here won't convince you to pay up.
Charlie. Didn't anybody ever tell you only cowards get others to solve their problems for them?
You slum-guzzling bastard. I'm gonna fix that wobbling jaw of yours.
Come on up here, then.
Are you sure you won't reconsider, Charlie?
Shut the hell up and get out of my way. McGuire, take care of the kid. Let's dance, cowboy.
I suggest you clear out while you can, little lady. This could get ugly.
From where I'm standing, it's pretty damn ugly already. Hey!
So that's how you want it, huh? Fine. I'll let the boss deal with you when he's done. Hey! Don't start any trouble, lady.
Whoopsie daisy.
Hey, nice one.
Not the most honorable way of winning a fight, but these boys were hardly playing fair.
Hey, Charlie. Looks like your guys weren't as tough as you hoped.
Whoo-wee! That got the old blood pumping.
You've got some interesting associates, Mr. Ackerman. If you'll excuse me, I have an article to write.
Hang on just a minute. I'd be a fool to just let you walk away after that performance. Come on back up here. I've got a business proposition that may interest you.
What about Miss Sally?
Oh, she can wait. All right, Miss Leger, I won't beat around the bush. Danny and I are looking to get some folks together for a job, and I think you'd make a damn fine addition to the team.
What sort of job?
Ever hear of Dr. Bennett Clark?
No, I don't think I have.
He was the lead scientist researching that ethericity stuff. Before the ban, that is. Dr. Clark moved out here not long after the big disaster back in Lamplight City. He kept up his research, even did some demonstrations at the Opera House. Till one day, he just up and vanished. Nobody's seen hide nor hair of him in nearly a year.
So is he dead or what?
That's the thing. Nobody knows. But the real question is what he left behind. We're going in search of Dr. Clark's fortune.
Come again?
The feller was loaded. Somehow he managed to talk a bunch of big money investors from back east into financing his research. All those gizmos and doodads don't come cheap, you know? We find his stash, we'll all be rolling in it for years to come.
Stash? What stash? Surely it's all just numbers on a ledger somewhere.
Nope, I'm telling you, he kept his assets in cold, hard cash.
So you're looking to rob a man blind just because nobody knows where he is?
Now, nothing so uncouth as that. Picture this, a swashbuckling pirate captain, his vessel freighted with treasure. The vast fleets of law and order circling him, closing in. He digs a hole in the sands of some sun-kissed tropical beach to conceal his ill-gotten loot and makes himself scarce. Circumstance conspires to deprive him of the opportunity to return. Now, he's the brave treasure hunter who seeks and unearths the bounty guilty of robbery? Or is he just returning to the world what would otherwise lie forgotten and worthless? See, we're not after Clark's personal wealth. The money in question was meant to bankroll his etheric research. Since that's been outlawed, he can't touch it. And it's a drop in the ocean for the investors. They'll never miss it.
How many folks are you planning on bringing into this?
That depends on what we find. But I promise you, we'll all get a fair split. Enough to make it all worthwhile.
What's your plan?
Clark had a lab nearby, a couple miles outside of town. Last place anybody saw. We poke around there, retrace his steps, and it should lead us straight to the loot.
Uh-huh.
Now, call me crazy, but I get the impression you're not entirely convinced.
Why on earth would you think that? A couple of folks I don't know from Adam asked me to help them hunt for some money that probably doesn't even exist. How could I not be convinced?
I admit we're asking you to put a lot of faith in us. Hell, I'd probably be just as incredulous were I in your position.
Mr. Ackerman's a good man, Miss Leger. He's never led me astray in all the time I've known him.
I appreciate it, Danny, but I think Miss Leger's gonna need a little more than just your word. Look, I've known quite a few moneyed folk in my time. They all got one thing in common. You know what that is?
They like buying things and showing off?
Quite the contrary. If you don't hold on to your money, you can't stay rich.
So what do they have in common?
They're good at keeping their money safe. Clark's cash is out there. I just know it. As far as your safety, you just took out a couple of brutes twice our size. It's plain to see you can take care of yourself.
I'm pretty good with my pistols, and Mr. Ackerman can talk his way out of anything. But we could use somebody who's good in a fight.
Besides, stick around old Jake long enough and you'll have enough material to write a whole book. Forget a measly little write-up in the local rag. I'm offering you a front row seat to a much better show. So, what do you say?
All right, Mr. Ackerman. I'm in. At the very least, this venture should make for an interesting tale.
I'm pleased to hear you say that.
You won't regret this, Miss Leger.
We'll set out for the lab at daybreak. And please, call me Jake.
Dr. Clark's laboratory is a short hike from Rosewater. After getting run out of Lamplight City, this is where he went to ground. A secluded desert facility where he could get up to who knows what. Jake, Danny, and I head there at first light to see what secrets he left behind.
Quite a sight, ain't it?
I'll say. What the hell was Clark doing out here?
That's a question for minds greater than ours, Miss Leger.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
I've got some more questions about you.
I'm always happy to answer.
How'd you and Danny get together?
I was packing up after a run of shows in Quick Point, having a hard time of it. You see, my assistant had up and left a few days prior, so I was flying solo.
Your assistant left? Why?
The showman's life ain't for everybody. I don't fault him for it. Anyhow, Danny comes up and offers to help with the crates. You should have seen him. Eyes wide, hands shaking, downright charming. So Danny gives me a hand and we get to talking. Turns out he's got experience roping and shooting. He even gave me a demonstration. I offered him the job as my assistant on the spot. The rest, as they say, is history.
Would you care to recount some of your previous adventures?
I'd love to, but I'm afraid now just ain't the time. Soon as we have a respite, I'll be glad to regale you.
I'm impressed, Miss Leger. Never thought I'd live to see the day Jake refused to tell his story.
Just how did you come to learn about Clark's money?
Not long ago, I got to talking with a feller at the saloon. The whiskey had loosened his lips and he blabbed all about the success of his Orem claim. But then he told me about how he'd invested most of that Orem in Clark's research and how he wasn't the only one.
And you're certain these investors won't be wanting their money back?
Can't speak for the rest, but this feller won't. See, his aforementioned loose lips got him into trouble with some other folk. Poor bastard was shot dead in the street.
I see. Enough jabber. Let's push on. Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
I want to know something about you, Danny.
Okay. Like what?
You and Jake known each other long?
Gosh, that's a good question. I guess it's been about 2 years?
Sounds about right.
Time goes by quick when you travel around as much as we do.
What did you do before becoming Jake's assistant?
Oh, nothing glamorous. I was a stable hand in Quick Point. Life with Gentleman Jake is certainly more, lively.
Just how old are you, anyway?
I'll be 21 this winter, but I can handle myself just fine if that's what you're worried about.
True enough. Danny's more experienced than some folk twice his age. You'd be a fool to underestimate him.
Have you got any family?
Sure. My parents and older brother live on the coast, near El Presidio. I write them every month. I haven't seen them in a dog's age, though. But Jake's been like family to me, really.
We should get a move on. Guess it shouldn't come as a surprise that the front door is not wide open for us.
That's a serious-looking lock.
Way too complicated for these lockpicks.
So, how are we supposed to get in?
Know if there are any locksmiths in town?
I'd prefer if we handled this ourselves. My old pal Captain Stokes is stationed nearby at Fort Beaumont. He owes me a favor, or two.
Maybe he could give us some high-powered equipment to get inside.
You read my mind, Danny boy. Wouldn't do any harm to take a look around out here first, though. Doing some tidying, are we?
We might find some use for these. Come help me. I can't carry them all myself.
Hey, I ain't gonna start bellyaching if you want to go around collecting refuse. Might fetch us a few shillings if we sell them back at the Jack of Diamonds.
There you go. And some for you.
Thanks.
Looks like Clark missed his last mail delivery. Wonder if Dr. Clark boarded these up himself. Wonder if Dr. Clark boarded these... Locked up tight.
Whoever closed this place up really didn't want anybody getting in.
The good doctor was pretty...
What are you doing? This is no place for sightseers.
And just who in the ether are you?
Such disrespect. You toy with forces you do not understand.
The lady asked you a question, sir.
Heed my warning. Stay away from this place. Its mysteries are not for you.
Hey, wait! You forgot your... hat?
What was that all about?
Good question. No sign of that odd bearded fellow. I wonder where he scampered off to.
I reckon we got ourselves bigger fish to fry right now, Miss Leger. Hey, look, a show!
What a racket.
She's pretty good, though.
¡Híjole! ¡Caramba!
Excuse me? I said, excuse me. Hey!
What do you want?
Who are you, and what are you doing out here?
I am Marisol de la Vega, Lieutenant General of the Constitutional Army of New Spain. My compadre is Corporal Eugenio Garcia.
Pleasure. I'm Harley Leger, and these are my associates Jake Ackerman and Danny Luo.
Good to meet you. In answer to your second question, Eugenio and I are practicing our shooting while we wait for our jefe to conclude his business.
Do you know anything about the laboratory just over yonder?
That abandoned wreck is a laboratory?
It was at some point.
Clearly, you know more about it than I do.
Who did you say you were waiting for?
Our leader, General Filomeno Marquez. Surely you've heard of him.
Afraid not.
Híjole, it really is true. Vespuccians don't pay attention to anything unless it happens right in front of their faces. You do not know of the new Spanish Revolution?
Should I?
Ugh.
What about this revolution, then?
I do not have the time or the desire to explain the particulars of our struggle to you. Pick up a non-imperialist periodical if you can find one, and you might learn something.
That's all for now. Happy shooting.
Thanks, gringa. Vaya.
Nobody in sight, but I'm sure there are guards somewhere. Hey, anybody in there?
What is it?
We'd like to come in, please.
More unannounced visitors? Must be my lucky day. What country exiled you?
None. We just want to speak with Captain Stokes.
Afraid he's indisposed.
Why don't you tell Stokes that Jake Ackerman needs a word?
Gentleman Jake?
At your service.
We're not in the market for entertainment. It's like I said. Oh, dad blasted. Would you knock it off with the shooting already? I can't hear myself think!
You call yourself a soldier when the sound of gunfire sets you quivering like a coward? Pathetic.
Look, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Would you happen to know anything about the lab just over that way?
No, and quite frankly, I don't care to.
What do you all get up to in this place?
I'm really not at liberty to say, ma'am.
I wouldn't be asking to see Captain Stokes if it wasn't important.
I opened the gate for the last person who said that to me today. And what did I get as a reward? His 2 cronies raising hell for the past hour. No, ma'am, not again.
Carry on, soldier.
Right.
Anda! Vaya.
Hey!
You again. What is it now?
Say, do you think you could practice your shooting somewhere else?
Why?
The fort guard isn't happy about the noise.
Well, then maybe he should choose another profession.
You're pretty good, but I bet I can beat you at shooting.
I am the best shot in New Spain.
Care to prove it?
Gladly. But a large stationary target such as this is not suitable for a contest. If you wish to challenge me, find some moving targets.
Can we use these bottles as targets?
Indeed, we can. Very well. Prepare to be humiliated.
Say, Jake, could you give us a hand?
My pleasure.
How many bottles are there?
About 30.
Then we will each shoot at 5. Whoever breaks the most wins.
Sounds fair.
I am feeling generous this morning. Would you like the opportunity to practice first?
Yes, actually.
Very well.
Ready with those bottles, Jake?
Yep, get ready. Set. Bottle in the air.
Damn it.
Incoming.
Nice shot.
Bottle in the air.
Nice shot.
Bottle in the air.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Nice shot.
Let us hope you improve very quickly. All right, for real this time.
Ready, set. Bottle in the air.
I'll get the next one.
Incoming.
You missed.
Bottle in the air.
Pure luck.
Bottle in the air.
I'll get the next one.
Here we go.
Pure luck. My turn.
Bottle in the air.
Take that.
Incoming.
Take that.
Bottle in the air.
Dale.
Here we go.
Anda.
Bottle in the air.
Damn. I win. Better luck next time, sweetheart. Híjole.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
You're good with your gun. What's the best way to hit a moving target?
Oh, well, I find concentration is key. Just visualize hitting the target and you won't go wrong.
How about an encore of your juggling ball trick? Beat that lady at shooting, and we can get her to practice elsewhere.
I see. Not a bad plan, but I make it a point never to perform without a crowd. Ask Danny. He's a good shot, but a little practice couldn't hurt him.
How are we supposed to get into the fort?
Good question. I figured it'd be a breeze, but the guard's ornery as a mama bear with a sore teat. We need to figure out how to get on his good side.
Any idea who that odd fellow with the beard was?
Not a clue. Sure seemed a few cows short of a herd, didn't he?
I'll say. Let's hope he doesn't cause us any trouble. Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Caramba. Caramba.
Hey!
You again. What is it now?
I wasn't quite prepared, lad.
If you insist. Remember, whoever hits the most out of 5 bottles wins. Get on with it, mustache wax.
No need for name calling, madam. Ready, set. Bottle in the air.
You missed.
Incoming.
Nice shot.
Incoming.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Pure luck.
Incoming.
I'll get the next one.
My turn.
Here we go.
Take that.
Here we go.
Dale.
Bottle in the air.
Dale.
Here we go.
Take that.
Bottle in the air.
Híjole. Another victory for me. Nice try, but
Perhaps I...
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
How about you go easy on me with those bottles? They're awful fast.
Want me to give you the advantage, huh? All right. I'll slow my hand a bit for you. Let's just hope that little firebrand doesn't take notice.
Enough jabber. Let's push on.
anda. Vaya. Híjole. You again. What is it now?
Third time's the charm. Let's go again.
I'm beginning to think you enjoy losing. Let's get this over with.
Ready, set, here we go!
Damn it.
Incoming!
You missed.
Bottle in the air!
Pure luck.
Bottle in the air!
You missed.
Bottle in the air!
Damn it.
My turn.
Incoming!
Anda.
Bottle in the air!
Take that.
Bottle in the air!
Anda.
Incoming!
Anda.
Bottle in the air!
Caramba. Another victory for me. Didn't even stand a chance. Vaya.
Hey!
You again.
One more.
I think you've embarrassed.
That's all for now. Happy shooting.
Thanks, Gring.
Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
Shooting's clearly not my specialty. Think you can teach that show-off a lesson?
It'll be my pleasure. Excuse me, ma'am?
What do you want, boy?
I think I'd like to beat you at that bottle shooting.
Oh, this is gonna be good. All right, kid, let's see what you got.
Why don't you go first? Show me how it's done.
My pleasure.
Ready, set, bottle in the air!
Híjole!
Incoming!
Take that!
Bottle in the air!
Take that!
Here we go!
Híjole!
Here we go!
Dale! Let's see you beat that!
Ready, Danny boy?
Yep. Don't worry about the warnings. Just throw.
Don't believe this. Beaten by a chinito de mierda. Eugenio, vámonos de aquí.
She's not a very good sport.
Never mind her. That was some fine shooting.
Sure was. You weren't kidding about being good with those pistols.
It was nothing. But thanks.
Hey, guard!
What is it?
Sure is a nice, peaceful morning, isn't it?
What happened to those cacophonous varmints?
They took their business elsewhere. Now, would you be so kind as to let us in?
So long as you promise to keep it down.
Deal.
Well now, what have we here?
I appreciate your hospitality, Captain, but I must admit I am perplexed by the change in your position.
It's not my position, General Marquez. It's the position of the government of the Commonwealth of Vespuccia. I have some discretion in the execution of my orders, but I'm sure you can appreciate that there's a chain of command.
I am, of course, most grateful for the aid you have rendered in the past. I am sure that your recommendations carry weight with your superiors. If you would be willing to lend your influence in support of our cause.
Perhaps we can speak of this at another time, Mr. Marquez. As I said, I have other concerns to deal with.
Of course. I look forward to our next meeting.
Captain Stokes, you're a difficult man to see.
Ackerman, how the hell are you?
Leave this to me. I'll have Stokes eaten from the palm of my hand.
Good day, Captain. Madam? Just a moment. I have seen you before.
That's right. I'm glad to see you on your feet again. That was a nasty tumble you had.
Of course. The the newspaper office. I owe you my thanks.
Happy to help.
What's your name, anyway?
Harley Leger. This is Danny Luo, and over there is Jake Ackerman.
Sir?
I am General Filomeno Marquez. Though Filomeno seems to be difficult for you Vespuccians, so you may call me Phil.
Phil it is. Good to meet you.
And you? What brings you to the fort?
We're looking for help getting into the abandoned lab back there.
And why might that old ruin interest you, eh?
We were thinking it might make a nice hotel. Just need to spruce it up a bit. Then we can charge folks for rustic desert stays.
A Vespuccian with a sense of humor. I suppose stranger things have happened. In any case, there may be something in there to interest me as well. In fact, I could get the laboratory open so we could both go in, if Stokes were not so stingy with his munitions.
How do you mean?
My specialty is demolitions and explosives. I just do not have any on hand right now. I thought perhaps the captain might once again be willing to assist a fellow warrior in a righteous cause, but...
It's like I told Mr. Marquez, my hands are tied. Much as I'd like to help, I've got enough to worry about with my men missing. In fact, I was just heading out to search, so if you'll excuse me.
Hold your horses, Captain. How about we come with? I'm sure you could use the extra eyes.
It's mighty kind of you, Ackerman. Can't promise it'll be safe, though. We'll be going near native territory.
Come on, Stokes. You forget who you're talking to? I laugh in the face of danger. We'll ride with you.
Your friend is quite the braggadocio, no?
That's Jake for you, as colorful as they come.
You're all in, then?
Apparently so.
I will accompany you as well.
Sorry, who are you?
Y'all can get acquainted on the trail. Let's get going. Sun's almost up. Appreciate y'all coming out with me. Strength in numbers and all that.
Our pleasure, Captain.
Exactly who is it you're looking for?
My first lieutenant, John Mulberry.
So when did your man go missing?
He left leading the patrol last evening and they never returned. I just hope the natives didn't get him. Things have been a bit tense of late.
On the subject of missing people, did you ever cross paths with Dr. Bennett Clark?
The mad doctor? No, ma'am. My man and I steered clear of him. Used to be we'd see strange lights and hear weird noises coming from his lab. Don't know what he was up to out there, but it weren't natural.
You been stationed at Fort Beaumont long?
Nearly 4 years now. For the most part, it's a fairly quiet post. Of course, Rosewater's nearby and usually good for a diversion.
On that note, I'd be honored to have you at my show, Captain.
Ah, yes. Soon enough, Ackerman.
What makes you believe the natives are behind Mulberry's disappearance?
Our patrol perimeter goes close to their village. Wouldn't be the first time we've come to blows over boundaries. They fall back once they
what became of Captain Stokes?
No, I was a mite preoccupied. But I'm inclined to take the fact that he's not in here with us as a favorable sign.
Surely a fellow of daring do like yourself has been in a predicament like this before?
More times than I can count.
How do you manage to get free?
Well, you gotta understand, every situation's different. Easiest way's usually bribing a guard, but sometimes you gotta get creative. Well, there's one time But no, that wouldn't work here.
Why not?
'Cause I'd need a few things, and coming by them in here will be next to impossible.
If you've got a plan, it's at least worth trying.
I reckon you're right. Main thing I need is something pliable, like wax or soft wood. Then something sharp to shape it with, and finally some shiny material. Metallic looking would be best. Find me those things, and we might be in business.
I'll leave you to your thoughts. Hey, Danny?
What is it?
Relax, Danny. It'll be okay.
You think so?
Sure. If these folks meant us any harm, they wouldn't have bothered capturing us.
I didn't think of it that way. I sure hope you're right.
Got any thoughts on how we might get out of here?
They took my guns, so... not really.
You and Jake must have gotten into scrapes like this before, right?
Well, I have, yes. Although it was before I met Jake. But is this really the time for stories?
Fair enough. Perhaps another time. Were you able to see how Captain Stokes fared?
I lost sight of him when I got knocked off my horse. Sure hope he made it, though.
Got anything that might work for Jake's plan?
Sorry, Miss Leger. I haven't got anything.
Phil?
Eh?
I never imagined volunteering for a search party would include free accommodation.
I must say, of everyone I have shared a jail cell with, you have the liveliest sense of humor.
So, this isn't the first time you've been locked up?
Certainly not. At least these people seem more hospitable to their prisoners than the Spanish.
Got any suggestions for how we might get out of here?
Not just yet. I want to see how things play out.
What do you mean?
Something about this does not feel right. We know very little of our captors. I cannot devise anything until that changes.
Did you see what became of Captain Stokes?
Yes, though I wish I had not. Pinche cobarde.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
He turned and ran. Took his men and abandoned us. To think I held him as a man of honor. Bastardo!
Whoa!
Easy there, Phil.
Forgive me, but I cannot abide a deserter.
It takes a low sort to abandon someone who's counting on you. You heard Jake's plan? Got anything that might fit the bill?
I do not believe so.
I'll just be over here. This sharp enough for you?
It'll do, it'll do.
Smells like lye. Is this pliable enough for you?
This'll do nicely.
Will this work for what you need?
Shiny and metallic. Perfect. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. You got everything.
Sure did. Now, will you tell me about this plan of yours?
I'm bluffing our way out of here. Give me a few minutes and you'll see what I mean.
Voila.
You carved a gun out of soap and wrapped it in tinfoil?
That's right.
You know, that's pretty crafty.
Why, thank you, Miss Legere. I thought so myself. Anyhow, soon as somebody comes in, I'll draw this and catch them off guard. You knock them out in the confusion, then we make our escape.
And you have confidence this will work?
These folk don't know firearms, they can't tell the difference.
But, what if...
Hello in there? I'm coming inside.
Well, ain't this fortuitous?
Greetings. I'm Nadine. I've come to...
Hands up!
Is that a fake gun?
Yes?
Don't mind my friend here. Nadine, was it?
Yes, Nadine Redbird.
Harley Legere. So just what is it you want from us?
The chief sent me to make sure none of you were hurt. She also wants to speak with whoever's in charge of your group.
That would be me.
All due respect, sir, but after that little trick you just pulled, you're out of the running.
I'll go then.
All right, come with me. I bring you Miss Harley Legere, representing the captives.
Thank you, Nadine. You may return and tend to the others.
I will.
Enter and be welcome. You may call me Chief Lutzi. I am responsible for the people of this village.
Pleasure's all mine.
You have violated the borders of the Autumn Nation, duly established by recognized treaty with your government. Miss Legere, why are you here?
We were only accompanying Captain Stokes on a patrol.
You serve Stokes. Curious, you do not dress like a soldier.
We have nothing to do with the fort.
Who are you then?
I'm a journalist for the Rosewater Post. My companions and I are researching Dr. Bennett Clark. We only came to Stokes to ask for help getting inside the abandoned laboratory on the other side of the valley. Thought maybe you could spare some dynamite or something. But first we had to ride with him to find First Lieutenant Mulberry and his missing men.
I see.
Let's just say he didn't paint a very pretty picture.
Unsurprising. Do you share his opinion?
I have little to go on, but being taken prisoner isn't usually the start of a good friendship.
The Autumn mean you no harm, Miss Legere. However, for months, the fort soldiers have routinely violated our borders and harassed our people. Just last night, a band of them came, led by this man, Mulberry. They attacked us in our fields and set fire to our crops.
Were there any casualties among your people?
No deaths, although a number were burned or wounded in the fight. As for Mulberry, we captured him. He is under guard in one of our empty storehouses. Stokes has turned our village into a prison, and now he is recruiting civilians to come after us. I fear this will not end until everything we have has been turned to ash. But I cannot allow that. Something must be done.
You're right. Can we help you in any way?
I believe so. And you can get what you're after as well.
I'm listening.
Our scouts have observed an army wagon making regular deliveries to the fort from Rosewater. It comes in the night, when few others are willing to travel, and always it arrives a day or two after the train stops in town.
Then that would be... tonight? I just arrived on the latest train into Rosewater.
Yes, exactly. I cannot know for sure, but I believe this wagon carries supplies, along with weapons and munitions. The soldiers use these to strengthen themselves, then come and deprive us of what little we have. If you and your people were to obtain them, It would be to our mutual benefit. We would have a means of defense. You would have the tools to enter this laboratory, and Stokes would be deprived of his armaments.
You're proposing we raid a military supply wagon? That sounds awfully risky.
Our peaceableness has brought us no safety. In doing nothing, we risk extermination at the hands of these men.
Tonight, then, huh?
Tonight, or not at all. The cover of darkness will be to your advantage. Our scouts have also noted that only 2 men guard the wagon.
Guess I'd better tell the others and get to planning.
You are welcome to rest here in the meantime.
Thank you, Chief Lutzi.
May the Earthmaker guide you.
Everyone in good shape?
Mr. Lua has some minor bruising, but your friends are otherwise healthy.
Good to know. Hey, fellas, come on out here. We got some business to discuss.
I take it your meeting with the chief went well?
Very well. In fact, we came up with a plan for how we can help these people and get what we're after. I hope you boys are ready for a little excitement.
Always.
Turns out the reason Mulberry didn't come back is that he was taken prisoner while conducting an unprovoked raid on this village. A raid Stokes himself ordered.
What?
Army soldiers have been crossing into Otham territory and attacking them without justification.
It's true. I have treated many of the wounded myself.
Hijo de la... We cannot let this injustice stand.
That is troubling. But what can we do about it?
Chief Lutzi suggested we hit him where it hurts, the fort's supply chain. So we'll be carrying out our own raid on a delivery wagon.
And to think just yesterday you were having reservations about robbing folk. Reckon it's true what they say about the frontier changing people.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Phil needs dynamite to get into the lab. This is our chance to get it.
And help these people too, right?
Of course, but we've got to consider our needs too. Now listen up, because we've got some preparations to make. And the wagon will be coming through tonight, according to the chief. We can get the munitions Phil needs to get us into the lab, along with some weapons and supplies for the Otham.
The old 1-2 punch. I like it.
Only question is, what's the best approach?
I'm thinking we create a distraction. We get the wagon to stop, then you and I keep the driver occupied while Danny and Phil sneak the stuff out.
I prefer a more direct approach. You said the wagon was poorly guarded, eh? We have enough fighters to overpower them. When they see they are outmatched, we should be able to take what we need without firing a shot.
Wouldn't it be better to do this without drawing any attention? You could set up a roadblock, then sneak out what you need while they investigate.
All good plans. Have you got anything, Danny?
No, but I think we should be careful. Something like this could so easily go wrong.
So, what's it going to be?
I like Jake's plan.
All right, just follow my lead. If things start to go south, say, hang up the fiddle. That'll be the cue for Danny and Phil to vamoose.
I can help too, if you need an extra pair of hands.
Oh, well, sure. That'd be much appreciated, Miss Redbird.
Well, we better get ready. Let's hope this goes off without a hitch.
What's going on here?
Finally a third party. Maybe you can settle this argument for us.
Ma'am, is this man causing you grief?
Not nearly as much as she's caused me, I can assure you.
How many times do I have to say it before you get it through your thick skull? We're through.
You can't just break a man's heart and expect him to roll over.
What's going on out here?
These two lackwits are standing in the middle of the path. This ain't no place for a lover's spat.
What in the Sam Hill are you two doing out here this time of night anyway?
We had a bit of wagon trouble on our way home to Rosewater. You ever been there?
Yes, sir. It's where I grew up.
After all we've been through, I need a drink. I'll be glad for some rest at the Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts?
You know, the saloon.
The only saloon I know of is the Jack of Diamonds.
You'll have to excuse my lady friend. She got a good wallop on the head when our wagon turned over.
Your wagon turned over? How'd that happen?
Something ran out in front of us, spooked our horse.
It was a sneaky little coyote came out of nowhere.
Yeah, these hills are lousy with the little varmints.
Well, we can't offer you a ride, but we can send someone from the fort to come get you, assuming you don't kill each other first.
Oh, don't worry about us. We quarrel all the time, like cats and dogs in a gunny sack.
If I had a copper for every time we'd called things off, then gotten back together.
Your offer is most appreciated, but won't be necessary.
So, you don't need our help? Why'd you stop us then?
In all fairness, you stopped at your own volition.
But we're glad you did. Your concern is very much appreciated.
Think nothing of it, ma'am.
You folks sure you'll be okay out here on your own?
Sure, we'll be fine. Sorry for any inconvenience we may have caused you.
Don't you think it's about time we hang up the fiddle?
Right. Thanks for your time, gentlemen.
You have come back to us, and it seems your hunt was successful.
Miss Leger, I gotta say, I ain't seen bluffing that good since I cleaned out Aces O'Reilly at the poker table.
Thanks. I've picked up a few tricks over the years.
Yes, we recovered firearms, ammunition, and some additional food.
Did you obtain what you needed?
Yes, with this dynamite, getting into the lab will be quite easy.
Then I am glad the raid proved fruitful.
Chief Lutzi, I am curious. Now that you can arm your people, what is your plan?
I can certainly understand your curiosity, General Marquez.
You know me?
We are close enough to the new Spanish border to keep informed of current events. To answer your question, we will defend ourselves. Peace has not worked against those who wish to harm us, so we must answer them with force.
You strike me as a wise and capable leader, but allow me to offer one piece of advice. Do not underestimate your enemy. Nothing angers a tyrant like a show of resistance.
I appreciate it, General, but I believe we will overcome.
I truly hope you do.
So, there's something else. Several crates in the wagon were marked Rosewater. I thought it was strange, considering that's where the wagon was coming from. And not only that, we found a safe filled with Aurum bars.
I wanted to take them, but Danny refused.
I imagine you had good reason for that?
They were marked. They wouldn't have been any good to us.
Good thinking, then. The last thing we need is the Royals on us for stealing their Aurum.
The Royal Police? Nah, out here they'd send in the army. Or God forbid, the Blackburns.
The Union Busters?
Unions, heads, you name it.
The big question is, why send Aurum to the fort?
An intriguing line of inquiry, but I ain't sure the fort's dealings should concern us.
Perhaps not. But I am curious as well. Something unusual is happening here. Stokes was all too happy to aid our cause before my exile. Now he acts like a stranger. It cannot be a coincidence. I am going to charge my Lieutenant General with finding out more about these shipments.
Chasing more wagons full of Aurum?
Something like that. It is clear there will be no more aid from Stokes now, and I still have an army to outfit. Perhaps we will find something we can actually keep.
If money's what you're after, maybe you'd entertain the notion of joining our posse. That goes for you too, Miss Redbird.
What are you talking about?
I'll explain everything on the way back to the lab. Danny, you stay here and help unload the supplies. You can give Nadine the lowdown. Come meet us when you're done.
Will do.
I am sending one of our hunters to return Mulberry to the fort. He can show you the way back.
Much appreciated. Right, let's get a move on. You coming with me and Phil, Miss Legere?
Damn right. Someone's got to be sure you don't blow yourself sky high. And can it with the Miss Legere bunk? It's Harley.
Duly noted. Now let's get going.
Just one more thing before you go, Harley. You said you were a journalist, yes?
That's right.
Do you believe the townspeople would take an interest in our cause?
Some might. I can certainly tell my employer about the treatment you've received.
Please do. I have a statement I would like you to carry back. The Otham are a peaceful people. We wish to be your good neighbors and friends. But if a Vespuccian soldier or any other person comes with violent intent to harm us, we will do what we must to protect our people.
Got it. Would you be willing to sit for an interview with someone from the post?
Gladly. My words are for all who will listen with open hearts.
I'll make sure your message is received.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing us back, partner. We can take it from here. Well, would you look at that? Didn't think I'd be seeing old Jesse again. I'm keeping this arrowhead as a good luck charm. And who knows? Maybe some collector out there'd be interested in acquiring the arrowhead that nearly wiped out Gentleman Jake.
Híjole. Is he always like this?
I wonder how things will go for the Otham now that they have firearms.
Well enough, I hope, provided they don't point them at us.
I shouldn't leave this here.
It's good to see someone who respects their country.
I wonder how things will go for the Otham now that they have firearms.
Well enough, I hope, provided they don't point them at us. You're quite certain you know what you're doing?
Just leave everything to me, and stand far, far back.
Impressive work there, Phil.
Gracias.
And an explosion will certainly liven up your article. Eh, Harley? Well, slap my behind and call me Betsy.
Not sure what I was expecting to find, but it wasn't this.
It has been completely ransacked.
Still, there's gotta be some indication of where Clark took his money. Let's take a look around. But watch yourselves. No telling what any of these doohickeys might be capable of.
No handle. Must be some other way to open it. No handle. Must be some other way to open it.
This Clark fellow was into some strange things, wasn't he?
I'm starting to understand why he chose to do his work out in the middle of nowhere.
I can't begin to fathom what these contraptions are for.
Nothing of use to us.
I get the impression this is what powers everything in here.
We just need to get it running again somehow.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind? 'Cause you know, I've been wondering, what do you suppose will happen to them now that they're armed with guns?
I worry the fort will see it as an excuse to declare an all-out war.
Yes, that is my fear as well. If Stokes attacks and they successfully fend him off, then perhaps he will leave them alone. But it will certainly not happen without bloodshed.
Well, best of luck to him.
This place sure is something, isn't it?
I admit, I never gave much credence to all that ethericity business, but seeing all them contraptions and appurtenances, let's just say it's given me a new appreciation for Clark's tenacity.
Enough jabber. Let's push on. How are you holding up, Jake?
Oh, just fine, just fine.
How are you
Oh, just...
No good. There's some power getting through, but it needs more. Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
Might I borrow that arrowhead for a spell?
By all means. Maybe it'll bring you some luck, too.
Enough jabber. Let's push on. I can't remove it with my hands. I'll need a tool to unscrew it. Let's see if this works. That did it. There's a thought, but this is way too big. I hope this isn't considered treason. That should do it.
Dios mío, what is this abomination?
Howdy, folks. Interested in learning about Coltit's miracle elixir?
Of course we are, little lady.
Then step on over here. Boy, oh boy, I sure wish I was you.
Beg pardon?
Why, today's your lucky day.
Is that right?
Yes, sirree. You're just in time to experience the travesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir.
The what now?
Oh, dang. I mean, the majesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir. My name is Olivia Coltit, and I'm here to answer all your questions about this evolutionary new medication.
Are you sure you don't mean revolutionary new medication?
That's what I said. So, do you want to hear about it or not?
Fine, I'll bite. Tell me about this miracle elixir.
Glad you asked. From the maker of the widely popular Coltit's emulsified soporific comes Coltit's miracle elixir, the finest, most elective tonic in Vespuccia, guaranteed to treat and cure all illnesses from arthritis to yellow fever. And for a special limited time, we're selling it for the treasonable price of just 5 crowns.
5 crowns seems a bit pricey. How about I give you 2 instead?
Sorry, ma'am. Daddy told me not to hackle.
Oh, I'm sure we can agree that rules were made to be broken, young lady. Would you consider 3 crowns? We'll tell everybody we meet to come see you. Then you can charge them a reasonable 6.
Well, okay, deal.
You wouldn't happen to be related to a kid in Rosewater named Jem, would you?
No, ma'am. Far as I know, I'm a lonely child.
Why are you parked in the middle of the desert when there's a town full of potential customers not 2 miles from here?
Oh, I'm just minding the wagon while my daddy's doing his business at the fort. But he told me to stand out here and detract anybody who might come by.
And has anyone else come by?
Oh, sure. Tons of folk. Only one who didn't stop was a feller on horseback. Too bad, 'cause the guy he was hauling looked like he could have used some elixir.
Say, do you know anything about that lab over there?
No, but I did hear a big boom coming from that way. Was that your doing?
No.
Oh, come on, you could tell me. I'm no tattler.
I said no. Now stop asking.
Fine, jeez.
I think I've heard enough for now. We'll just be going.
It was a real pressure.
My guess is the primary ailment these folks cure is swollen purses. Professor Xander Coltit III. Good medicine for good people. I'm sure there's a lesson here about the laws of supply and demand. Ooh, that'll put hairs on your chest. Let's put some of this elixir to good use. Fantastic.
Looks like Phil managed to get the door open.
I wonder if they found anything inside.
I'd say so, yes.
We are up and running.
Impressive.
This technology is amazing. What did this Clark fellow intend to do with such power?
I'm beginning to wonder about that myself.
Nice job getting the lights back on.
Get everything squared with the Otham?
I think so.
They're adequately supplied. They should be well off for some time.
Well, I suppose we should see about...
Hello? Is someone in here?
Damn. Looks like we've attracted some attention.
I come in peace. Please, make yourself known.
Guess we don't have much choice.
Hail! Goodness, I wasn't expecting so many of you.
And we weren't expecting anybody at all.
And just who might you be?
I am Paul Burkhart, emissary of the Luminarians.
The what now?
We are disciples of Dr. Clark, protectors of his artifacts and legacy.
No kidding. So you must know all about him then.
Quite so.
Well, isn't this our lucky day? Can you tell us what you know about him?
If you seek enlightenment, we will be glad to share our wisdom with you. But let us all return to the commune. We must not further defile the sanctity of this place. Come, I am eager to learn about you all. Welcome to Chrysalis, friends. Feel free to explore, converse with the residents. You'll find we have much to offer. We'll speak again soon.
What an accommodating fella.
This is all very strange. You all might be into this porqueria, but I want no part of it. I am going back to the lab.
Suit yourself. All right, let's see what we can learn about where Clark's stash might be. But let's not overplay our hand, shall we? If anybody asks, our interest is purely academic.
I'm really not a good liar, Mr. Ackerman.
Shoot, nobody's asking you to lie, sugar. Just withhold certain details. We're interested in learning about Clark. That's all there is to it. Come on, Danny. Let's see where our friend's gone off to.
I know lying doesn't come natural to some. For others, it's like breathing. Don't take this amiss, but if you'd like some pointers, sometimes it's good to be able to keep certain things to yourself you don't want everybody and his uncle to know.
Oh. All right.
Above all else, be confident. If you sound like you believe what you're saying, they will too.
You seem to have a lot of experience in these matters.
I think sometimes the truth can do more harm than good. A lie can be a kindness.
Is that really what you believe?
If what someone doesn't know can't hurt them, why shatter their peace? Or bring trouble down on somebody else just for principle?
Dishonesty is disrespect. For others, for God, for oneself. For instance, I would never conceal the truth from a patient, no matter how grim the outlook.
Well, I won't argue with that. A body should know what they're up against. I don't lie to hurt people. Sometimes it's just the only way.
That's good to know, I guess. Your advice is appreciated. I'll just see what I can find out on my own.
smells anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer. Kitchen to the left, rostrum to the right. Certainly colorful. Suppose that's where the animals are kept. My, that's quite imaginative. Well, well, if it isn't my old friend.
The Defiler returns.
Hey now, don't get your britches in a twist.
You're a guest of Emissary Paul, so I'm obliged to welcome you. But if you continue casting your shadows of discord over all that is bright here, there will be consequences.
Now just where do you get off saying I'm casting shadows of discord or whatever?
I caught you trespassing outside the laboratory. Then your friend blasted the door off.
It was all in the name of research. I'm just as interested in all this as you.
You've a peculiar way of showing it.
Did you ever have a chance to meet Dr. Clark?
No, nor did I desire to.
No?
Ethericity is not a power to be trifled with. I've no interest in meeting someone who treats it as a plaything.
Where did Dr. Clark end up?
Not where he should have.
Do you know any details about Dr. Clark's research?
He was toying with fire, pure and simple. He may have been inspired and driven to his work by the luminous ones, but he was only their tool. He did not acknowledge their undeniable glory or show them the proper respect. He took a battering ram to the door of heaven. When they tired of the noise, they whisked him away inside the gates, while the rest of us still wait outside.
So what you're saying is, you don't actually know.
I've underestimated you. I didn't think there could be someone more arrogant than Dr. Clark.
What's so special about this place that they've got you standing guard?
This building houses our collection of artifacts salvaged from Dr. Clark's laboratory.
Oh, so you're the ones who looted the place.
We did not loot it. We saved important items from obscurity and decay.
Think I might take a quick peek?
Absolutely not. Outsiders are forbidden.
So how does one go about joining your little club?
You think if you joined us that I would just suddenly allow you to enter?
Sure, you said only outsiders were forbidden.
Nice try, but not on my watch.
What if I brought you a new artifact for your collection?
Then I would be very surprised. We've already retrieved everything of value from the laboratory.
Even from that locked room?
That room is inaccessible. Do not even consider attempting to breach it.
So what brought you to Chrysalis?
My personal business is none of yours.
Touchy. I'll leave you to your guarding. Try not to die of boredom. Excuse me?
Ah, hello. You must be one of Miss Redbird's companions.
That's right. Harley Legere.
My name is Evan. Evan Holbrook. Welcome to Chrysalis.
Evan was just showing me the cookhouse. You know they grow or raise everything they eat here themselves?
Well, mostly. Sometimes we need to resupply from town, but we aim to be fully self-reliant. Our dedication will be rewarded with bounty.
So, are you the biscuit roller for this community, or what?
Not quite. Everyone in Chrysalis does their part. It's my day on the rota to fix breakfast.
Do you have a doctor?
We have a few skilled in healing, yes. I do wish we had more knowledge of agriculture. Our crops haven't been thriving like we hoped.
What's your story, Evan? How did you join up with these folks?
Well, like many of the others here, I was living in New Britannia. My wife was there at the etheric demonstration at the expo. I thought I'd lost her forever, but emissary Paul found me and explained how she hadn't perished, merely transcended. At first, I didn't believe him. I wanted to throttle him, actually.
I can understand that reaction.
But I realized that in my grief, I had become blinded.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Don't be. One day I'll transcend too, and we'll be reunited in the ether.
You said your crops weren't doing well. Why not?
Getting the irrigation in this year saved some of the crop, but we're facing lean times. We simply must find a way to grow enough to feed everyone.
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
Alas, no. I hadn't really heard of him before the expo. I was looking at the wax anatomical models in the medical marvels exhibit. But my wife said they turned her stomach, so she went to see the etheric pavilion instead. I don't think she really knew who Bennett Clark was either. It was just something to pass the time. If only either of us knew what a significant thing was about to happen.
The disaster that killed all those folk?
Please. That's what the ignorant and unenlightened call it. Emissary Paul helped me to understand. Evocator Bennett showed the world the transcendence phenomenon. It wasn't a disaster. It was a miracle. I only regret that I wasn't there, so I could have gone along with her.
Do you know where Dr. Clark disappeared to?
Evocator Bennett didn't disappear. He transcended.
Again, you use this word. What do you mean by it?
He passed through the etheric gateway and joined with the luminous ones in the cosmos.
Oh.
Exactly what was Dr. Clark researching?
Ethericity, of course.
Of course, but what about it? Energy sources? Industrial applications? What?
Miss Legere, I couldn't begin to tell you. Whatever reasons he may have given the public, the bankers, the professors, and what have you, his true purpose was to open the way for humanity to pass into the etheric realm. And it wasn't easy. He spent 2 years in that laboratory before transcending. Soon the day will come when we all can follow him.
Your friend over there refuses to let me in to see Clark's artifacts.
Yes, Samuel is quite a stickler for the rules. Sometimes I think he lets his duties as the emissary's assistant get to his head.
It was good talking to you. I'll leave you both to it.
Goodbye for now.
See you later, Harley.
Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
So, where did you learn to shoot?
I, used to know some folks that were handy with pistols. They gave me a few pointers and I just sorta picked it up.
So, what's our friend on stage been jabbering about?
What hasn't he? This guy makes Jake seem like a silent monk by comparison. Anyway, it's mostly been about Clark, his etheric research in New Britannia, how he built his lab out here after the Expo disaster. Excuse me, miracle, that sort of thing. He says Clark transcended. I'm not sure what that means.
I get the impression it means he's dead.
Oh, that's too bad.
What's your impression of Chrysalis?
Well, it's peculiar. Everybody's got a job to do, a way to help. Nobody's left out, and that's nice. But all this stuff about etheric beings? It sounds,
Crazy?
You said it, not me. Anyhow, I wouldn't mind hanging around a while.
I'll leave you to the lecture.
My friends, today we give thanks for our manifold blessings. On this day of celebration, the Evocator's Day of Transcendence. And why do we celebrate today, on the 8-month anniversary? Because 1 is nothing special. 1 is an isolating, selfish, lowly number. But 8 is perfection. 8 is infinity. 8 is the flap of the butterfly's wings. On this day in March of this year, exactly 8 months ago, the luminous ones called Evocator Bennett up to join them in the luminiferous ether. In so doing, they showed us the path of light, where soon we all shall follow. Now our soul sibling Bennett dwells among them in the etheric realm beyond this earth, in a transcendent union of cosmic harmony and peace.
The butterflies sure seem to like these flowers. Something about that makes my skin crawl. Suppose that's where the animals are kept. I've got more important full of grain by the look of it. Quite the contraption. If the smell's anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer. Not very intimidating. No wonder the crops are bare. Seems like they're pretty self-sufficient here. Certainly, they have an automated... Suppose that's where the animals... A reliable water supply is everything out here. The butterflies sure seem to like these flowers. A reliable I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Ah, Harley. Miss Larkin here was just telling me about this fascinating place.
Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have visitors.
Thanks, but I was hoping to have a word with Jake in private.
Of course.
What's on your mind?
So, what have you picked up from these fine folks?
This ethericity stuff is much more complex than I thought. Seems our friend Dr. Clark may have been on to something after all.
I think I've found a promising lead. There's a shack on the other side of the commune full of things salvaged from Clark's lab. Only problem is it's being guarded by that first luminarian we met.
Well, the feller with the tinfoil chapeau?
The very same. How can I get past him?
He's a peculiar one, but he seems to be the most reverent to these folk. Perhaps you could win him over with a peace offering. There might still be something in the lab that's been overlooked.
I'll just leave you to it then. I can't be seeing things. Danny and Nadine saw that strange haze too. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. There must be something wrong with the sky. Whatever turning on that generator did, I hope it's not permanent. All right, then. Hey, Phil. You in here?
Had enough of those luminous lunatics too, did you?
I don't know. They seem okay. Just a bit odd.
More than a bit, if you ask me. Anyway, now that the power is restored, we can see about getting inside that locked room.
No handle. Must be some other way to... Looks like it's connected to the door somehow.
And that wire runs to the console back there.
I can't see through. The window is too grimy. At least Dr. Clark practiced fire safety. Hey, Phil, let's talk.
What about?
So how did you wind up here in Vespuccia?
That is a very long story, and I do not wish to relate it now. Perhaps another time?
Fair enough. How did you become so proficient with explosives?
The science of it always fascinated me. Even as a child, I read a great deal about mining and demolitions. The lessons were invaluable. So, when my parents sent me to university, I studied civil engineering. Most people do not realize just how much care must be taken when dealing with dynamite.
Hang on. You have a university education?
Of course. Does this surprise you?
No, I just didn't think a revolutionary would have a degree.
Well, I do. From the Escuela Superior de Ingenieros in Madrid.
I have to ask, what went on at the Rosewater Post?
That so-called newspaper editor dared to write that the People's Revolution was over, that we had been crushed by the forces of the Spanish army. Defeated, we will not abandon our cause. I demanded a correction. What did I get instead? A defenestration.
Rough break.
Yes.
Clark's lab is really quite something, wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Something unnatural. Something perverse. What possessed him to undertake this research is beyond me.
A bunch of Clark's things are collected at the commune, but one of the Luminarians is guarding the place.
Naturally. Are you seeking a distraction?
If you have an idea, I'm all ears.
It just so happens I do. I have had a look around, and this machinery is quite unstable. With a few more items, I could finish what we started with the door and send this whole place up in smoke. That would give you time to search, no?
It would, but it seems a touch extreme. What would you need exactly?
Well, mainly fertilizer and flammable liquid for accelerant. I can construct a detonator out of scrap I found, but I will need something to serve as the plunger to set it off.
Well, I'll consider it. Right. Carry on. I can't see through.
Just as well. I prefer to keep my feet on the ground.
I can't begin to fathom what these contraptions are for.
Nothing of use to us.
Just a bunch of useless books. I can't
Nothing of use.
Seems to be working now. This may have held something interesting once, but now it's just lodging for spiders. Way too high for me. Hey, Phil? Let's talk.
What about?
Can you think of any way to get that box down?
I'm afraid reaching high things has never been my forte.
Right? Way too high for me.
I will stay in here.
If the smell's anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer. This had better work, Phil. Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
I was wondering if you might help me out with something.
What?
There's a toolbox inside Clark's lab that's out of reach, and I've had no luck getting it down. Think you might put your pistols to the task?
I could do that. Yeah. You want to go right now?
Yes, let's head over now.
Sure thing. Just lead the way.
That's it, up there.
Right.
Nice shot.
Thanks, Harley. Happy to help. So, what's inside that box that's so important anyway?
Guess we all get to find out together.
Ah, so you got the box.
Well, anything good inside?
Not really. Just a wrench and this odd dial thing.
I hope it was worth the trouble then.
That was good practice, at least. I'm heading back to Chrysalis. See you both later.
Seems to be working now. Seems to... One of the dials is missing. Just... It won't turn any... No good. One... Phil, you might wanna... Move. Are you all right?
I think so. The cage seems to have absorbed all that energy. Just warn me before you try that again.
So, this console operates equipment by setting the dials in a 4-digit sequence. That means we need to figure out the right code to get the door open.
I will stay in here.
They're busy. I've got more important...
Here, in Chrysalis, at the Evocator's laboratory, his holy temple, the veil has been parted. And on the other side, the luminous ones are waiting to welcome us home. When he first arrived here, in that twice blessed year. For never forget that 8 is the most sacred number. Evocator Bennett perhaps did not yet know that he was building a temple. But that is what it was, my friends. A temple, a lighthouse, a shining beacon in the dark. A divine instrument that would pierce the cosmic veil, letting the ether's light shine through to guide us. Calling the luminous ones. Calling us here. Calling us home.
Begging your pardon.
How may I help?
What is it you do around here?
Plenty. I help in the fields and in the kitchen, but my particular gift is keeping Chrysalis beautiful and its people inspired. All the murals and paintings you see around the commune are my work.
And a fine job you've done.
Why, thank you.
I agree. You've really managed to liven up this desert with some color.
Yes, that was my intent. I'm glad it comes across.
How did you end up here in Chrysalis?
Ethericity always fascinated me. I joined up with the Luminarians when they were passing through Rampton on their way west. We founded Chrysalis here, close to the Evocator's laboratory, and where the veil is parted.
The veil?
The boundary between our world and the ether, the realm of the cosmos, home of the luminous ones. The barrier is very thin here. Can't you feel it?
There's definitely something in the air. I've noticed you all sure are fond of butterflies.
What better creature to symbolize transcendence? Like butterflies, we too will undergo a metamorphosis, pass through the veil into the ether, and join the luminous ones. Not only that, their wings have 8 sections, and they flap in a figure 8 pattern.
Does that mean something?
Evocator Bennett's sacred number, of course.
Sacred number? What does that mean?
The number 8 is very important. It appears constantly in the Evocator's writings, and Bennett himself was born on the 8th of August, 1788.
That's quite a coincidence.
Coincidence is mere illusion.
What's the meaning behind those shadow paintings?
We commemorate those who have transcended, and those who will.
Hence the butterflies?
Very astute. Yes, the butterfly represents the immortal soul, the essence of a person in their fullest flourishing. The butterfly is pure potential, contained within those who have not yet transcended. Once someone has passed into the ether, it is released and flies free.
Why, that's mighty poetical.
I can see that you have quite a bold, brilliant butterfly stirring within you.
You don't say. You see that, do you?
If you permit me, it would be my honor to paint it. Only if you're willing, of course. Everyone's journey to transcendent readiness is unique.
Perhaps you could tell me more about it once Harley's done talking.
With pleasure.
Did you ever meet Dr. Clark?
I did. Once. We didn't speak long, but I felt as though we'd conversed for hours.
Do you have an idea of where Dr. Clark might be currently?
Of course. He's with the luminous ones.
Pardon?
The beings on the other side of the veil. The ones who dwell in the ether.
You're saying Clark is dead?
Not dead. Transcended. Eternal. You still have much to learn. It's good you're with us now. Everything will become clear soon. Trust me.
What exactly was Dr. Clark's etheric research about?
Truth.
Lovely sentiment, but could you be a bit more specific?
He sought to connect us with the world above, to unite us with the luminous ones. He succeeded in not only opening the door, but stepping through and crossing the veil. He showed that the way is possible. Now we all must learn to follow.
All right. Thanks for the chat.
Be well.
Don't wander too far now.
It won't turn... No good. I guess those dials aren't set up correctly. I guess this measures etheric pressure, whatever that means. No good. I guess those dials aren't set up correctly. Fantastic.
Nicely done.
Well, nothing horrible came out, shall we?
After you. Santo cielo!
What in the ether happened in here?
I do not know, but I am not going in any further.
These mannequins are disturbingly lifelike. This one's posed like it's reaching for something.
Clark's research involved playing with life-size dolls? Que locura!
This might be of interest to our friends in Chrysalis. This one's missing its head. I wonder how that happened.
I can die happy never finding out.
This one seems to be the happiest of the bunch.
How can you tell?
It's the only one smiling. This pumpkin is thriving, despite being sealed in here with no water or sunlight.
There is something very unnatural about all this.
This one's just staring at his buddy. Ripe and juicy tomatoes. How can they grow without any soil?
Easy. Devilry.
Completely overgrown.
Probably for the best.
These squashes look healthy. I can't make heads nor tails of this chicken scratch.